Hey whales, good morning. Happy Thursday. It's August the 7th. Let's recap the markets and go over the top stocks to buy for today. And as always, before we jump in, let's go into our trades so far for this year to see how we're doing. And we're doing really well, guys, right? We started with 100K at the beginning of this year, and now we're up 88K USD in profit. So not too bad, guys. 88K profits. I'll take that any time of the year. We are doing really well in terms of our risk to reward, a 2-to-1 R&R with a 60% win rate across the board here. So let's keep up this momentum, right? And all the trades that you see, again, from Amazon to Hims and Hers to Microsoft, they're all posted here in Discord, guys. You get the swing trade ideas for those that are busy with their lives and want bigger positions and longer time frame trades. And then you also get the day trade ideas. Those are for more active people alongside myself, and we can trade alongside each other and make a lot of money together. So I look forward to seeing you here. The link is in the description for you to join. So yeah, let's make a lot of money. All right, so with that said, let's jump in, guys. Now, before we go over everything, let's talk about the S&P 500 first. And just to review, guys, story really remains the same for me. The markets are still extremely bullish, right? We're still working on a bullish sequence to finish off all of wave one. We're looking for a 3, possibly a 4 that got put in, and one more leg higher for the 5th wave. And then we'll see whether or not seasonality takes over in September. As you guys know, September typically is a pretty bearish month historically, right? So we'll see if that sort of causes a possible reaction towards the downside. Again, we can't time a top. We don't know how a top's going to look like, but we just want to be well prepared to know that, yes, it is getting a little bit extended, okay? So with that in mind, let's go over the top stocks to buy for today. And as you guys know, for me, I love trading multiple different patterns. The first pattern is sort of the bottoming formations, what we call the inverse head and shoulders pattern / accumulation patterns, okay? So that's the first pattern that I love to trade. Second one is the bull flags, guys. So typically this is continuation patterns within uptrends. So we like to keep buying the dips on uptrends, right? Next one are pullbacks. So these are great company names and a possibly larger pullback than expected. So we like to see if we can position ourselves correctly in those type of stocks. And then finally, stocks that have had its earnings beat this past earnings in Q2. And we want to make sure we monitor these top stocks moving forward so we can also position ourselves for the future. So with that said, let's jump in. The first name on our list, let's go over, is John Deere, or Deere and Company, ticker symbol DE, guys. You can see accumulating very nicely here, starting to make some higher lows, right? So this coiling pattern looks set up, ready to go for more upside in the future. We're sort of sitting on the daily moving averages here very nicely, and you can see we're constantly in an uptrend, guys. So DE, look for John Deere and Deere and Company to continue heading higher. I like this sort of accumulation that's forming, very typical before a upside break. Another one that I like is MasterCard, guys. So unlike Visa that started to sort of downtrend a little bit on the smaller time frames, MasterCard is looking quite juicy here, making higher lows, right? Starting to coil a little bit. This is what I'd like to see. On the daily moving averages, it's holding the price, good support, and it sort of looks like my winner in the past here, like Walmart, guys. Walmart had a very similar pattern right before this sort of breakout, right? Started to coil on the moving averages, above the 200 moving average as well. So keep a lookout. Very same sort of similar structure. Looking for MasterCard to pump up here as well. And finally, for the last sort of pattern for the first section is T-Mobile, guys. As you guys know, I'm a huge believer in T-Mobile. I've been in T-Mobile since the 2020s, okay? So you guys can see we're starting to make an inverse head and shoulders pattern on a top communications name, guys. If you don't have T-Mobile in your portfolio, you might want to consider it because it is a top player, guys, and communication is everything. You have the trendline support starting to form. You have an inverse head and shoulders. You have a nice pattern that started to break this high, guys, right? You can see when price started to make higher lows for the first time, now we got that higher high. So what does that mean? That means it's starting to look more bullish. So any dip is considered a buy. You can have your invalidation level low down here at 219. If it breaks that low, you can get out or you can even add more. It's really up to you, but this pattern looks pretty good to me. Look for T-Mobile to continue towards the upside. Now for the next sections, we're going to rapid fire this. These are the bull flags. So as you guys know, I love trading continuation patterns and bull flags. Let's go over the first one is ticker symbol CCL, Carnival Corporation. So a lot of the cruise lines, guys, they are starting to look a little bit more juicy, right? Starting to coil out, starting to build a flag here. So what I love to see is that these type of patterns, right, are more corrective rather than impulsive, right? We like corrective patterns rather than impulsive patterns, okay? So right now, looking okay to me, accumulating and starting to build a flag for Carnival. So keep a lookout for the cruise lines. Another one is IBIT, guys. So if you're a fan of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, if you don't have any cryptocurrency, this could be the time to start slowly getting in. We started to make a higher low here, guys, starting to break above a higher high. This could be the start of the next wave higher. So keep a lookout for IBIT and Bitcoin. For the next one is Kratos Defense. So another defensive name, right? Looking pretty good like RTX. You guys can see. Let's see if it starts coiling into a flag here over the next couple trading sessions. But again, I do see 3 waves already in, right? So that could be it already, and we could be sort of pumping out. So let's see if Kratos and the rest of the defensive names like RTX, if you guys take a look at the competitor RTX, right? Another good flag forming, guys. Okay, so this is another name you could also get into. All right. A semiconductor play for LRCX Lam Research, guys. You guys know this is a fantastic company, right? Coiling down to the moving averages on a daily time frame, starting to look pretty interesting here. And, you know, I wouldn't mind a starter position across some of these main support levels, guys. You guys can see it broke out and now retesting this support across the left, all this support. So keep a lookout, and as long as price stays above the 200 moving average, guys, this is still a very bullish pattern. You can buy here, you can buy another tranche lower, but ultimately, this is in a very bullish sort of sequence overall in the daily time frame. Next one is Magnite, ticker symbol MGNI, another strong growth name in advertising here. Look at the flag starting to form, guys. Right, coming down to some moving averages, very nice coiling pattern. Definitely a name you should be looking out for further upside. Another one is Nebius, guys. So, okay, it just moved for pre-market because of its earnings. It looks like it beat its earnings, guys. So this has been coiling for quite some time. Can now buy the dips on Nebius. Sorry, guys. Right, so something like this in the future. So keep buying the dips, keep looking for those flags. Again, another name is Norwegian Cruise Lines, guys. Look at this beautiful flag and pennant starting to form, making higher highs, higher lows, right? You have a 62% chance on these breaking towards your favor or the trend. So 62% chance of going higher. I like those odds. All right, we keep going with Synopsys, another fantastic name in the semiconductor industry, right? Looking pretty nice on that pennant. Can turn into a flag if it does dip lower, okay, but still looking pretty good to me for further upside. Teradyne. So Teradyne starting to look pretty interesting as well, right? Had a good earnings beat and looking like a flag as well. So keep a lookout again for further upside on Teradyne. Another interesting name is Vital Farms, guys. Vital Farms, all right, starting to sort of accumulate here on the daily time frame. You can see this larger flag coiling on the weekly time frames here, right? So keep a lookout for this Vital Farms play, right? And it's also building out a flag like this, okay? So it's holding the moving averages on a weekly. This could be a long-term investment. It's trying to break through this wall, guys. Trying to break through. And again, like I mentioned, when you have sort of resistance like this, the more time it touches this resistance, think of it as sort of like a battering ram. It's getting ready to break through. So another touch could signal a breakout in Vital Farms. And then finally, for the bull flags that I think would be interesting is Wynn Resorts, guys. So you guys know I'm bullish on anything in terms of travel, in terms of leisure, take a look at Wynn Resorts and other names like Las Vegas Sands, but you can see starting to flag out very nicely, starting to build a flag as well, pennant formation if it makes the higher low. So these are all names you can sort of swing for the next couple of days or weeks, however long your tolerance is on these names, okay, for continuation. Now, the next section we'll go to are the pullbacks. So I love pullbacks. These are companies that are pretty interesting, pretty good names that are pulling back, and we'd love to try to get into, okay? So for AMD, a lot of my group members in Discord, they got into AMD here on the 3-wave swing, so they are up now. Pretty nice on the moving averages. You can see clear 3-wave move. 1, 2, 3. That's an ABC correction on Elliot Wave theory, right? Beautiful flag as well, possibly forming. So let's see if AMD can keep pushing and actually head towards all-time highs. But again, it can do a double, right? It can do a double, something like this, before trying it again, okay? But overall, I like AMD. Great name, good earnings. Let's see if it can keep trending higher here on this uptrend. Another name that's very interesting is Cake, guys. Cake is now sitting on the 4-hour 200 moving average, and on the daily, you can see we're coming down to the moving average as well. These are great opportunities to build starter positions if you haven't already. Anywhere between these moving averages and the 200, right? Anywhere around these levels, that's where I love to build positions on great companies. So keep a lookout for Cake, Cheesecake Factory, great dividends, great earnings, doing everything right in terms of management. All right, another name is Chipotle, guys. Take a look at Chipotle here, right? It's sitting on the 200 weekly moving average, and you can see the last time it did that, it signaled a bottom. Last time it came close, signaled a bottom. So you guys know the theme for Chipotle. Every time it comes here, makes sense. If it's not fundamentally broken, you can keep going on Chipotle. Let's just take a few sort of fib levels here, right? So you have the 382 sort of as a main support here. There is a lower support down at 27. I'm not sure if it's going to go down there, guys. That's pretty deep here. But overall, anywhere around the 200 moving average on the weekly signals a pretty good buy to me. Let's take the latest Fibonacci retracements from the latest swing low here, right? This is the latest swing low. So you can see the 618 is coming close to 39 to 33. I like those levels for Chipotle. All right, another name is Coinbase, guys. Coinbase is very interesting here. So you can see if you keep going on the daily moving average, again, it is passing the moving averages on a daily, and it is now sitting in between the 200 moving average and my moving averages here. So anything around here could be a pretty good starter position in a great name, guys. Okay, so as you guys know, for our Discord, we got in and we signaled Coinbase at 172 down here on the long-term ideas channel. So if you got in, you're in great profits already. However, if you did not get in, this could be a great area to maybe have a starter position and sort of DCA your way down if it does, go lower. I think Coinbase is a great winner in the future. All right, next one is CoreWeave, guys. So CoreWeave, very interesting name here. You guys can see we're sitting on the daily moving averages now starting to form. So could be a great starter position here. You have sort of these pivots on the left acting as support. Now I also want to point out that if you do take the swing lows to the swing highs, the 618 level that we like to see is typically down here at 87. Okay, can it go down there? Yes, but it is on the moving averages for the daily. So maybe the algos are front running this. Okay, and then I also like the top of this support at 66. Not sure if it's going to go down there. That's another 50% drop, guys, and it's already down quite a bit, guys, from the peak, right? We're already down 50%. So that is a pretty large retrace if it does come down all the way to 64. We don't know. It can happen, but ultimately I do see a possible 3-wave structure already in an ABC correction. So it could be a possible, at least a relief rally, and then we'll let the markets decide what it's going to do, right? Is it going to keep going up, right? Or is it going to do a double and come down? So we don't know, but these levels make sense. Another pullback is pretty interesting is FServe, guys. You guys know FServe is sort of the hidden payment giant in the background, making money on every single payment transaction that occurs at merchants, right? And look at the monthly, guys, right on the moving averages. Every time it goes to the moving averages on the monthly, guess what is signaled? A bottom, okay? Every single time. So it could be a great starter position. Yes, it can come all the way down to, if it's super bearish, to the monthly moving average of the 200. That would be incredible. That would be crazy. I'm not sure if it's going to go down there. Anything's possible. If the business is fundamentally broken, it can definitely happen. But ultimately, it's at the 200 moving average. Typically, that does signal a potential buy. All right, so keep a lookout for possible buyers to step in. If you wanted to get into sort of this company, you keep doing your research on it. And then finally, for the pullbacks that would be interesting is you can see here on IBM. So IBM, you guys know all about IBM. Great name, great company. It's on a 200 daily moving average. You guys can see it does love to respect that in past historicals. Take a look, right? Every single time it hit the 200 moving average, guess what happens, guys? It signaled a bottom. So could it happen again? Yes. Right? I'm assuming buyers are going to try to get a starter position there. And if it does break lower, okay, then you can zoom out to the weekly moving average and you can have another starter position on the weekly, okay? So keep a lookout for IBM to continue this uptrend. I don't think it's fundamentally broken. Look at the earnings, guys. It has beat its earnings for the last, 5 years every single time. So IBM's a big name, great name, something that you should definitely consider for a staple in your portfolio. Okay, finally, let's go over the last section. This is the earnings beats, guys. As you guys know, we love to keep a monitor on the top stocks that beat its earnings. So let's go over Amazon first. So you guys know I did buy Amazon on the dip, and Amazon's in my long-term portfolio as well, alongside the Discord group, right? So we did buy here. Looking pretty good, still, chopping around. Let's see if it can go to all-time highs. Again, it can do a double, right? Based on seasonality, do something like this and then go higher. We don't know yet, okay? But if it does break down there, you have a lot of support on the left here to sort of DCA your way in. Another one is ASML. ASML is a pure sort of, play here in terms of semiconductor industry. I do like it a little bit lower, right? Struggling a little bit, but around the 618s does make sense for ASML. For me, I probably won't get into ASML because I don't really know the company too well, right? I invest in companies that I really love, and I just don't know what ASML does, okay? But overall, I mean, I see the hype in it. Great earnings, great company, continues to have a monopoly apparently in sort of a process in semiconductors. So, if you're well versed in it, more than I do, you can try to go for it. For AXP, American Express, guys, I love American Express. You guys know, looking pretty good. Had a great earnings report, retracing and pulling back quite a bit here. I do like the 287s and even down here at 243 to 258 for American Express if it does come down there, right? It pays a dividend. Great sort of credit card company, great name. So it's something that should be on your watch list, especially if it does test the weekly moving averages once again. All right, DHI, guys. I'm a big fan of DHI and home builders for the 2026 play. We are in from the lows in our Discord from the 120s, right? You guys can see every time it reached the 200 moving average, the signal to bottom, we already got in because of the fact that we saw the inverse head and shoulders, right, with the Discord group here. This is a beautiful play at the lows, and it continues to go higher. We're going to keep holding DHI for the future. Duolingo. So we added Duolingo right here, guys, at the lows at 340s the day before earnings, right? The day before earnings, and we love this company. I think we can get to 437 as a short-term target, but ultimately my target's at 611 and 718, guys, 718. So let's see if Duolingo can continue trending higher, right? We want to see sort of a 5-wave structure, pull back, and then higher, consolidate into a 4th wave, and then break out. So this is the pattern that I'm looking at. And any dips is considered a buy, guys, on Duolingo. Great company, something that I'll be looking to get into more of. Same thing with Google, guys. You got to have Google in your portfolio. I mean, every single dip is a buy. Okay, just keep buying Google. There's nothing to be scared about for that. For JP Morgan, pulling back nicely here. I do see a bearish divergence that formed, right, a 3-5 top here. So I'm looking for actually something like this to occur. before higher, right? So more pullbacks towards maybe 250s, 260s would be interesting for JP Morgan on a name there. For Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola is coiling a little bit, right? You're starting to see that wedge formation starting to form, okay? So yes, can start coiling out, but we do have the 618 level down here. So if it does come down here on Coca-Cola, right, that's definitely a buy. But just in case if it doesn't, right, you can have a starter position in Coca-Cola now because it is coiling. For Meta, you guys know I'm in Meta from the lows, guys. I built out a $300,000 position when it was at the lows, and I'm up immensely now, and it's been one of my best winners overall. Okay, so you can see starting to flag out with Meta continuously going up. So big name, huge winner on its earnings. Keep buying, guys. Any dip is considered a buy on Meta. MODG, guys, Top Golf Callaway. So we got in on Top Golf, and we've been accumulating on these dips, guys, because of the fact that golf is the next big thing. Callaway is ready to go. Top Golf is ready to go. Inverse head and shoulders starting to look very juicy here for more upside, and it did beat its earnings, guys. Okay, so Top Golf looking juicy. Microsoft, keep going with Microsoft. We're in Microsoft, guys, from the Discord group constantly, from the lows as well. We're in from 370s. We're going to keep pushing it higher here and keep calling it higher. Micron, I'm not familiar with this company, to be honest. I don't invest in companies I'm not familiar with, but it is at pretty good 382 levels at 103. So support there. You have support down here as well at 85. So if you're a fan of Micron, you can go into it. Semiconductor play, I believe. Okay. For Cloudflare, again, great company, starting to break out. This is something I would not be chasing for me personally, but cybersecurity is always a great add-in. Netflix is beautiful, right on the moving averages here on a daily. Nice pullback for a three-wave move. I do expect buyers to probably step in here to at least take us on a dead cat bounce, and then we'll let the markets decide. Is it going to keep pushing up, or from here go down lower to test the 200 weekly or daily moving average? Okay, we don't know yet, but a starter position in Netflix around these levels makes total sense to me. For PepsiCo, again, it's showing a little bit more signs of life here. Okay, starting to coil a little bit, and if it can go sideways a little bit more, right, I would love to see an accumulation pattern, wait for the moving averages to have a golden cross and start looking like a bullish structure, okay? So still some time here. It's going to take a long time to turn this around, in my opinion, okay? But it is looking pretty good. For PayPal, it has a lot of tailwinds, share buybacks, strong name, good brand name. So I wouldn't mind PayPal as an investment for those that are looking for a cheaper stock, right? For me personally, I use Stripe more, so and Shopify. I like Shopify, so PayPal maybe not for me. Reddit, you guys know Reddit's my darling, right? Been calling to buy Reddit every single day, and now after the earnings, it's already up to $216, guys. So probably the low forever you'll ever see. So you can buy the dips on Reddit moving forward. It powers the entire AI prompts, guys. AI takes a lot of the Reddit posts, so Reddit is the main thing you always want to take a look at, okay? Rocket, you guys know, again, same thing with the home builders and sort of the real estate play. You want to get into companies like Rocket companies and keep going higher. We're in from the lows as well for Rocket in the Discord group. Shopify, we're in as well from Shopify from the lows here, and had a great earnings. So we're going to keep calling it higher on Shopify and keep pushing it even further. I love Shopify. It's one of my favorite stocks. So we're going to keep going. TMDX, interesting name here, right? I think pullbacks does make sense to get in. It is a strong company. It is hit or miss at times, but great company overall. It has a monopoly in, I guess, organs. I'm not too sure. I read about it, but it is an interesting company that people can get into if they're familiar with that industry. For TSM, guys, pure semiconductor sort of play here. Amazing company overall, right? It's just growing, starting to build a flag out. You can get into TSM. Makes sense for a potential buy as well. Visa. So unlike MasterCard, Visa is starting to break down a little bit more. Okay, so I do like it a little bit lower for Visa here, right? Closer to 325. So if Visa can come down here, great name to add. It is on the daily 200 moving average, so good starter position, to be honest, at this level. Okay, but the weekly moving averages are down a little bit lower, so you can add on 2 different tranches if you wanted to for Visa. And then finally for Verizon, guys. So for Verizon, starting to coil a little bit, inverse head and shoulders action possible. Okay, so if it does dip, we're starting to, make a flag out. We're starting to sort of, on the weekly, trying to get a golden cross here, guys. You can see the golden cross starting to form. So if Verizon can stay above it long enough and continue accumulating, it can actually call this the low forever. So let's see. And again, guys, that's all. That's everything in terms of the watch list. And again, come join Discord, guys. You're going to make a lot of money with us. You get the day trade ideas every single morning, so you can trade alongside me. You get the swing trade ideas for those that are more busy with their lives, right? You get the exact entry, target, stop losses I'm looking at. Long-term ideas, the swing trade signals, when I get in and get out of actual trades. The 100x baggers, guys. This is our big winners, right? You get exactly when I buy every single stock. The daily video updates, and then all the stocks here, the daily charts that gets updated every single day, so you're well aware of everything that's going on in terms of the counts, in terms of what you're looking at. So for instance, for Palantir, right? So we update all these every single morning, every single day. So I look forward to seeing you here again. Come join. You're going to make so much money with this, guys. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. Talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your Thursday.